Welcome to A Styled Life, the podcast for purpose-led female founders and senior leaders ready to use style as a powerful tool for confidence, impact and influence. I'm your host, Alex Standley, multi-award-winning personal stylist, speaker and sustainable fashion consultant with 2 decades of experience in the fast-paced world of fashion. Join me as we redefine success from the inside out. This podcast isn't just about clothes. It's about personal power, purposeful style, and creating a life that aligns with your values. So whether you're running a business, leading a movement, or stepping into your next chapter, you're in the right place. Each week, we'll dive into the world of personal style, sustainability, female empowerment, and living with intention through real stories, expert insights, and plenty of inspiration. Welcome back to the podcast. Today, I want to talk about a much spoken about subject, capsule wardrobes, but not in the Pinterest, beige, 20 items and start again way. I want to talk about capsule wardrobes for high achieving women whose lives have outgrown their wardrobes. Women who are visible, who are leading, who are speaking, networking, traveling, showing up on Zoom, and are often being looked at more than they realise. Because if you're honest, the issue isn't that you don't like clothes or that you don't understand style. It's that getting dressed has started to feel surprisingly hard, considering how competent you are everywhere else in your life. And a lot of the advice around capsule wardrobes is the reason why they feel hard. So today I want to reframe what a capsule wardrobe actually is, why it so often fails women like you, and how it should support your life, identity, and visibility that you have now, not the one that you had 5 years ago. So let's start by talking about why capsule wardrobes might be feeling hard for you right now. The biggest misunderstanding that I see is that women think a capsule wardrobe is about having less. But what I see inside wardrobes, especially for senior leaders, founders, and speakers, is that you don't necessarily have too much. You have the wrong foundations. So you've got beautiful pieces, those statement looks and outfits and elevated items that you really love, but they don't all work together. They were bought for individual moments, perhaps a conference, a wedding, a panel, a photo shoot, not as part of a really considered system. So when a new invitation lands or your visibility increases, you're straight back into panic mode. I need something new, even though your wardrobe is technically full. And that disconnect is quite frankly exhausting. And it's not a confidence issue, it's a structure issue. A capsule wardrobe isn't about stripping everything back. It's about creating foundations that allow you to use what you already own properly. So, what a capsule wardrobe actually is. For the women that I work with, a capsule wardrobe gives you versatility, ease, less decision fatigue, and more self-trust. So it's not minimalism for the sake of it. It's actually more about having a strategy. It's about having key pieces in the right colours, the right shapes, and the right fabrics that allow everything else to work harder. So instead of owning 6 versions of the same safe blazer or top, you might actually be missing 1 jacket or 1 pair of trousers that unlocks 10 different outfits. And that's the shift. One of the big reasons why capsule wardrobes fail is that they are missing identity. And this is the part that all those kind of generic capsule wardrobe guides miss. A capsule wardrobe only works when it's built around who you are, not an aesthetic you've borrowed or a checklist you've followed. 2 women can own the same number of pieces and look completely different because identity changes everything. When I work with clients, we start with their style archetype or their signature style, because that's what anchors those decisions. That's what answers the question like, what needs to be true for me to feel like myself when I get dressed? So I'm going to give you a couple of examples based on my 6 style archetypes. So for a creator, they're really all about expression. So they would want their capsule wardrobe to be colourful, have quite a fair amount of print, texture. And for those pieces, those essential pieces, to have a little bit of a twist, because her capsule is going to be playful, it's going to be intuitive, dopamine dressing rooted in self-expression, often through pre-loved or independent designers. A powerhouse, on the other hand, uses style strategically. She's all about having those strong details, clean silhouettes, and often it's all about that impeccable tailoring. So her capsule signals authority before she speaks, and it's often about those understated details, not about the creativity and playfulness of the creator. That's why capsule wardrobes feel dull when they're reduced to numbers or colours or a generic list of items. Without identity, they're going to fall flat. With identity, they feel powerful. Another example here is the grounded visionary. She builds her wardrobe rooted in values. So she is very much about comfort. She's all about natural fibres. That will often mean, more relaxed tailoring. And she wants to feel polished, but in a much more simple and grounded way. Often the palette of grounded visionary is quite earthy as well. She can enjoy some brighter colours as well, but her capsule is there to support her body, her energy and her ethics. So it's really understated and aligned with who she is. So buying for events versus buying for real life, this comes up constantly with women who are more visible. You're not just going to work anymore. You're navigating meetings, networking, speaking, travel, Zoom, and real life in between. And what happens is this: you buy outfits for moments and not for your life. So you end up with great individual outfits, but nothing that mixes, nothing that adapts, and nothing that feels effortless. A capsule wardrobe asks a different question before you buy anything. How many ways can I wear this? Can I dress it up? Can I dress it down? Will it translate okay on camera? And then can I wear it in real life as well? If the answer isn't at least 3 of these questions, it probably doesn't deserve space in your wardrobe. Your life has changed and your wardrobe hasn't. This is another reason capsule wardrobes don't work, because wardrobes often reflect a past version of you. I see this especially with women who have had children, who have stepped into leadership, or you've left corporate and built your own business, or for women who have hit midlife transitions as well. Your pace is different, your body might be different, your confidence is much deeper but quieter, and your wardrobe hasn't caught up with all of those changes. A capsule wardrobe that works starts with honesty about your lifestyle. What do your days really look like? Where are you being seen? What do you need to feel like yourself again? Not the fantasy life, but the real one. Because if we build a wardrobe around this kind of fantasized vision of what your style is going to look like, and we don't take into consideration that you're actually on the school run in the morning and the afternoon, or that you lead quite an active lifestyle, it's just not going to work properly for you. Another key ingredient to your capsule wardrobe is about getting your neutrals right, and this is crucial. This is probably one of the most overlooked parts of building a capsule wardrobe. Most women default to black and white as safe basics, but black and stark white are not the best neutrals on everyone. If you've got a warm undertone to your skin, your hair and your eyes, those black and kind of optic whites will drain you. They'll harden your look. They'll make even expensive clothes feel flat. And this is why so many women say that their basics feel boring as well. Often it's not the clothes, it's the colour choice. So neutrals like navy, camel, khaki, and more of a kind of off-white or soft ivory work beautifully if you've got more of a warmer undertone to your skin. They're going to lift your face, they're going to make your wardrobe feel more intentional rather than severe. Whereas if you have a cool undertone to your skin, then that black and the optic white and the kind of silver greys and all of those cooler neutrals are going to be what works for you. So it's really important that we understand what colours are going to support you within your capsule wardrobe as well. As we've spoken about, a capsule wardrobe works best in layers. So first we want to focus on your foundations, and then we've got the cherry on top of the cake, which is all about, self-expression and personality. So your foundations are going to do all of the heavy lifting, and that might be key pieces like your perfect fit trousers, the perfect blazer, the perfect dress, and the shoes that work really hard for you. And once they're in place, you absolutely should add in your bold pops of colour, your prints that you love, anything that adds that personality and joy back into your wardrobe. So a capsule wardrobe should never mute who you are. It should give you a safe structure to then be able to express yourself fully through everything else. Another misconception is that you have to get rid of everything to build out your capsule wardrobe. And this can often be a big blocker to even starting in the first place. And that answer is absolutely no. Most women already own many of the right pieces. The issue isn't quantity, it's cohesion. It's about editing, combining things in new ways, and then adding in strategically. It's not about starting again. And you'll often find, like when I go into my clients' wardrobes, that you're so used to wearing things in the same way on repeat that you can't see the wood for the trees. And actually, when I come in, my zone of genius is creating lots of new outfit combinations from what you've already got, and then being able to see quite clearly those foundations that you're missing that we need to add in to ensure that you can create even more outfits on top of that. And from a sustainability point of view, obviously capsule wardrobes are amazing because they are those foundational pieces that are worth investing in. So you want them to be better quality, natural fabrics, things that have longevity and that are going to be those forever pieces in your wardrobe. So you want to be buying fewer, better things and then wearing them more. And secondhand works brilliantly here too when you're being intentional. So you need to know your colours, you need to know your body shape so that you know which silhouettes work well, and you need to be clear on which specific brands will work best for those items, whether that's from a quality perspective or from a fit perspective. It's really important. Your capsule wardrobe shouldn't stop you from evolving. It should support a conscious evolution. And again, that doesn't mean, throwing everything out and starting again. And often pre-loved is the perfect place to look because it means that you can be really specific about your colours, and you can also find things brand new with the tags on, but for a fraction of the retail price. And who doesn't want to grab a bargain when they're investing in their forever pieces? Another question that I often get is, how do I make my capsule wardrobe more exciting on Zoom or in person when I'm doing in-person events? And they can be really powerful for both of those outcomes. So on camera, your presence is shaped by colour near your face, the neckline and the structure of what you're wearing on your top half. Jewelry is really important. Glasses can be a feature, and having some texture and contrast can be really helpful as long as it's the right kind for the camera. And this is where identity-led styling really matters most. So I'm going to give a couple of examples from my style archetypes again. So a modern muse on Zoom might rely on a perfectly cut blazer, really refined light, like gold jewelry. It's very subtle, but there's all of those intentional details there. Whereas a creator, on the other hand, might show up in really bold earrings, have bright colour near the face, and have lots of playful details going on. A luminary who's very, very feminine, she might choose softer sort of drapey fabrics or ruffles or bows or those kind of more feminine details. And it will be all about that kind of quiet glamour. So there's going to be a completely different expression depending on your unique style personality. And that's where capsule wardrobes are never about looking the same. They're about being recognizable as you. And the real point of a capsule wardrobe is not about restriction. It's about ease, confidence, and clarity. It's about opening your wardrobe and thinking, I've got this. And when you're busy and you're visible and you're carrying a lot in your life, that really matters. And it massively reduces your mental load in the morning. Instead of having those mornings where you open up the wardrobe and feel like I have nothing to wear, you've got a system, you've got a catalogue full of outfits that you can rely on for any possible occasion that comes up within your diary and your calendar. So if your wardrobe is feeling full but frustrating, it's not because you need more clothes necessarily. It's because your foundations no longer support the woman that you've become. And once they do, getting dressed becomes easier, shopping becomes intentional, and your style starts working with you. If you're stepping into bigger visibility, whether that's a leadership role, speaking, media, or simply being seen more, and you want to be remembered for your unique presence, not a polished version of everyone else, the Luxe Style Formula is my one-to-one strategic and transformational styling work. This isn't about gaining authority through conformity. It's about aligning your wardrobe with who you're becoming through identity, intention, and ease. It's high-level, intimate work, which is why I only work with 3 clients per month on this one-to-one program. If your wardrobe no longer reflects the woman that you've grown into, this is where we recalibrate, quietly, powerfully, and properly. If you're interested to find out more, you can find in the show notes the link to book a free style strategy call with me to discuss in more detail. I can't wait to meet you. Thank you for tuning in to A Styled Life. If today's episode resonated, the best way to support the show is to share it with another trailblazer or leave a quick review. And if you're ready to align your style with your next level of impact, head to the show notes to book your free style strategy call. Because when your style aligns with your purpose, the world takes notice.